Hello and welcome here to Talk SCB, and welcome back for another video here today, and we're going to be talking about the quite fantastic Lionel Messi. Now of course we always know that Lionel Messi, whenever he goes out onto the pitch, he's going to try and perform, he's going to try and live up to that incredibly high expectation that we always have of him. And he often delivers, but yesterday was one of those moments whereby you find yourself sitting there watching the game and you're just taken in by what he does, and you're just thinking, this is something magical, this is something very, very special, and this is what we've got to appreciate and love about him. The fact that he can quite simply now put his hand to anything. He can orchestrate, he can influence, he can decide anything on that pitch, and that is really, really true, because what he did yesterday was not only score the goals, not only provide the goals, he controlled the pace of the game, everything was revolving around him, he was part of every single pass combination, and he just controlled that game and ran the show completely from top to bottom in that team. And I just wanted to take a closer look at that, because I was looking around for a lot of graphics and some information on his positioning yesterday, because there was so many different positions that he took up during the game, and I was hoping that I could get some photos and some graphics which really showed that in more detail, and I've got a few here for you. So I've not got a tremendous amount, but I've got some things that will possibly put into perspective what he did yesterday, and also going back to the Super Cup match against Sevilla when he played in quite similar positions and when he took up the same sort of positions on the pitch. So the first thing that I want to address is quite a weird one, actually. It's not really to do with his positioning, but to do with his goals that he scored yesterday. Both of them were from outside of the area, both of them fantastic strikes. And often with Messi, he gets branded with the sort of thing that, you know, he's got so much technical ability, he's so talented, he doesn't really work for his talent, it's just given to him. And he's possibly portrayed as this player that doesn't always have that element of, say, power about him, or that real ferocity. And often Ronaldo is given that praise, that he's such a player that can, you know, train very hard. He's very, very powerful in his shots from outside the box. He's accurate, and he's destined to hit the target. But Lionel Messi yesterday scored his 2 goals, both of them outside of the box, both of them different types of strikes. His first goal was very much a caress into the corner of the goal, very, very accurate, but at the same time it was a very, very powerful strike with his strongest left foot. And then the second one was very much a power strike across the goalkeeper, again into the bottom corner, met with a lot of pace and a lot of power. So basically this graphic was just to highlight the fact that actually Cristiano and Messi are not very different in terms of outside the box, because you often hear that Messi's this player who scores cute goals from inside the area, ones that are, you know, very, very close range, when actually they both scored exactly the same amount in yesterday's game. And Lionel Messi actually in that game overtook Cristiano Ronaldo. He now has 40 goals from outside the area, Ronaldo has 39, and you can see here quite honestly the conversion rate, which is always, you know, forgotten. You come out with these stats that, oh, Messi and Ronaldo have the same sort of goals from outside the box, but actually Lionel Messi's conversion rate is nearly double what Cristiano Ronaldo's is. Ronaldo's had 755 shots and converted 39 of those into goals, whereas Messi's had 414 shots and he's converted 40 goals from those shots. So clearly Lionel Messi has the accuracy. Maybe power is not always the best way to go, and that's certainly what we saw yesterday when those 2 fantastic goals went in from outside the box. But enough of that now, enough of the goal scoring on the side of Lionel Messi. We're going to talk about that fantastic playmaking side, that fantastic role in which he plays, in which he can collect the ball, in which he can receive it. He's got a bit of space, and in that space he can do some absolutely wonderful things. Because the one thing that is always seems to be undermined with Lionel Messi is his understanding of the game and his knowledge of where his teammates will be. Because you can often hear about Messi, oh, you know, he's in that Barcelona team, he's always comfortable, he's always got good players around him. But what they don't fail to mention is the fact that how well he understands these teammates. Even the new players and the new signs that have come into this team, he's already linking with them. He's already understanding what they can do. He understands their runs. He knows where they'll be. You only have to understand the sort of connection that he has with Jordi Alba on the left side. Of course, for many, many years, we saw him have a fantastic partnership on the right side of midfield with Dani Alves. And he can also do things on the left side with Jordi Alba. He knows exactly when and where Jordi Alba's going to arrive in that box, and the amount of times we see that cross-field pass when he cuts inside on his left foot and he plays that lofted pass over to the left-hand side. It's a fantastic thing to see. Time and time again he gets it right, and even when the passes look impossible to execute, he manages to do it with such fantastic fashion, and we saw that for the goal yesterday. You can see here from these graphics, I used them in the video yesterday as well. He cuts inside on his left foot, And you can see there in that first graphic, there's nobody even in the picture. Denis Suarez is making the run to the box, but Messi's not even looking for Denis Suarez. He knows Alba's got the pace to get there. He knows that he is going to arrive in that box, and the anticipation from Messi to see that pass before it's even available is incredible. And you can see then in the second picture, when the ball is nearly at his feet, Alba then is arriving in the box. And that's the thing, Messi is seeing things before other players and other defenders can even react to it. He's seeing these passes before we're even seeing Jordi Alba make that run. He knows it's going to happen, he can anticipate it, he understands it, and that is why his playmaking ability is so fantastic. Not only does he understand the play, not only does he understand his teammates, but he's got the power and the ability to execute those passes even when they look extremely unlikely. And I think that is just the wonderful thing about Messi, the fact that now he's able to influence the game even more than before. We've seen him at a false nine, we've seen him play out wide, and now he's having once again nearly a free roll. He doesn't always have to stick wide in games where they're possibly dropping off when teams are playing with quite a deep back four. Messi's going to have that license to drop back in, come inside the field, play a bit more centrally and see more of the ball. You can see him here against Sevilla. They were playing quite a high line, but you can see Munir and Arda are both holding their line as the strikers. Messi has come in from that right-hand side. He's playing in between Gomez and Denis Suarez, and he's ready to receive that ball because he knows if Gomez or Denis Suarez can pop that ball round the corner to him, look at the space that he's got to run into. He's playing between the lines, he's clever in his positioning, he understands where he needs to be, where he needs to stand, where he needs to run, and he's always got that awareness of the players that are around him. And it is that ability that's making him such a unique player at the moment, because he's playing with such an intelligence, he's playing as though now he is, 29 years old. He is playing with that sort of experience behind him, everything that he's learned over his career, everything that he's picked up, and people keep saying, he doesn't have that burst of pace anymore. Yes, he does. He does still have that burst of pace. We saw it yesterday, and even though he's playing in this sort of playmaking position, that doesn't mean that he's not going to have license to make those runs into the box. We saw him yesterday, he was playing a lot of passes, he was, engineering things in the middle of the pitch, but at the same time, he still made 6 successful take-ons yesterday. He was still involved in a number of dribbles on and off the ball, and I think that's what he can do, and it's the fact now that Messi has so many sort of keys and so many machines and weapons in his armoury. He can do anything on that pitch. He really can, whether he needs to drop deeper to play the pass, whether he needs to drop in and play make, whether he needs to go out wide and hold his width, whether he needs to come inside to be the goal scorer. And I think what we're seeing now is a player that's developed over the course of his career, that's picked up so many different things with the different players that he's played, with the different systems he's had, different managers that he's had. Of course, he's been under the likes of Pep Guardiola, Frank Rijkaard, even managers, Tito Villanova wasn't with him for a long time, but in that time he's still going to be learning things, he's still going to be picking things up, and now with Luis Enrique and the system that we have is a little bit more fluid, a little bit more open, and I think Lionel Messi is certainly adjusting to that now and using that to his very, very big strength. And I think what we saw yesterday was a demonstration of everything that he can do. And if you look at this graphic here, that tells you everything that you need to know about the performance of Lionel Messi and how key he is to simply everything that we're doing at the moment. You look at that, and what that basically means is the thicker the line is, the amount of passes that go into him, and you can see there everything is sort of likened around that right side of midfield into Sergio Roberto. We saw already yesterday that combination play starting to really work between the two of them. Roberto assisted Messi's goal. It's into that pass to Rakitic as well, and Sergio Busquets, whenever he gets the ball, he's looking to see where Messi is. Can I play a direct forward pass into Messi's feet? Because I know when I do that, he's going to be able to use it in the best possible way, and economically Messi's always going to pick out the right pass. And you can see that everything there is drawn to Lionel Messi, and you've got to accept as well, that's what every single player on that pitch is trying to avoid. Not only is Messi having a ridiculous amount of touches, that's what every man on every team is trying to avoid. Messi touching the ball. They're crowding around him, they're trying to press him, but even so, he manages to find that space, he manages to find that time to receive the ball, to touch it, to pass it on, to dribble with it, to shoot, and all of this while they're trying to stop him. They're really trying to gather many, many players around him to prevent him having that time and having that space. And I think Lionel Messi is one of those players that you have to sit back, watch, relax, enjoy, and just take in everything that he's doing, because there's so many things that he does on the football pitch that often in 90 minutes of football you can't really sort of adjust to it all and watch it all at the same time. You've got to watch replays, you've got to watch the game back again, you've got to look at photos, you've got to look at videos, because there's so many things that he does in the game which sometimes we probably take for granted, but it's really incredible to watch what he's doing right now. He's having the ability to play make, and he's also having the ability to goal score as well, because a lot of people were sort of saying when he gets older he's just going to drop back in midfield, he's just going to drop back and play a deeper role. goal. And yes, you can possibly see that starting to happen at the moment. He's dropping back, but at the same time, that's not really stopped him from getting forward. That's not stopped him from getting the goals. That's not stopped him from getting into the box, because he's still got that energy to go forward and get into those areas as well. So just because we're seeing him possibly take a step back in some games, and it won't happen in all of them, in some of the games he's going to have to be more disciplined, he's going to have to stay out wide, he's going to have to keep that width. But in these type of games where he gets that space in between the lines, do not be surprised at all to see him drop back, get into those positions, but also keep making those forward runs as well. A lot of people are saying, well, why can't he do this for Argentina? And it's simply because of the players that he's got around him at Barcelona. And that's not me saying, oh, well, look, Messi has better players, they're making him a better player. Messi makes everyone else play well. And at Argentina, they simply do not understand the way that Messi needs to play. He needs to have people in front of him that are making those runs. He has Luis Suarez and Neymar and Arda Turan and other players ahead of him that are making intelligent runs. He's got the fullbacks, he's got Alba and Sergio Roberto, who constantly bomb on and keep their width and spread the pitch. He has those two doing everything they can to create space for him. And then in that meantime, Messi can find the room inside the pitch, he can move the ball around, he's got intelligent players making runs beyond the defenders, in behind the lines, and Lionel Messi's got the ability to find those. The problem with Argentina, he's expected to find the pass, he's expected to pick up the ball, he's expected to win the ball back. And then when he has that ball, he's expected then to be in the box. As amazing as Lionel Messi is, he can't be in two places at once. But sadly, some people do expect him to create that kind of literally create magic, because they need him to be in the box, they need him to be on the edge of the box, they need him to be playmaking. And at Argentina, he's simply being asked to do too many things at once. He cannot be everywhere. He's a magician of a player, but he cannot be in two places at once. And at Barcelona, we've got the players, the system to help him succeed, and the players make intelligent runs. Messi understands those runs, Messi can play off those runs, but at Argentina it simply doesn't happen that way. Higuain is not a player that's going to be stretched in the back four. The defenders, the wider players don't hold their width, and that makes it very, very difficult for Messi to do what he does best, which is play make, get into those positions, create some space, do some magical things, and eventually there'll be goals that come from that. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys, because yesterday I just felt that this masterclass from Messi really deserved a closer look at, and I hope that some of the things that I've showed you today have been useful and you have enjoyed it. So let me know your thoughts on Messi down below, the new sort of vision that we're seeing. Like I said, it's not going to be something that we're going to be seeing every single game, but certainly throughout the season I would expect a very, very big season from Messi, because what I saw yesterday, the determination, the confidence, the fitness from him, I would expect a very, very big season. He looks ready to tear up this league and hopefully the Champions League as well. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. I'll be back very, very soon with more videos, of course. It's great to be back. Thanks a lot for all your comments yesterday. It's really much appreciated. I'll see you very, very soon, but until then, you know the drill. Vesca El Barça!